Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we have a new video, but it's different than the other videos. Today's video is gonna tell you some scary stories that I hope you like. From now on, we're gonna be telling stories, so if you would like that, you can tell us in the comment section. So I have some kind of stories that will scare you a little bit. So I'm gonna tell you about it in this video. I hope you like it. Our first story is called You're Lucky, I'm Scared Too. So the girl that tells the story is saying, some random thief was in my house, who I spoke to, who left me a weird message. So I was sitting in my room around like 11:30 p.m. I heard a lot of noises downstairs. I thought it was my mom. I heard her walk up the stairs to my room. Stop, I said. But she didn't say anything. She walked downstairs. I went down about a half an hour later to find a piece of paper with the words, You're lucky, I'm scared too, on it. And a whole bunch of thoughts is coming into my head. Because my mom didn't arrive home yet from a dinner she was at with her friend. So I called the cops and locked myself in the bathroom. But I think they left when they realized I was still home. Probably the most scared I've ever been when I was hiding in the bathroom. Our next story says, a warning. I saw a dead slaughter ghost in my room before I deployed. It was the guy room who died in my company last development. And I was the first to be issued with it. He told me to be safe. He had half a head. I'm agnostic, but that makes me question it. I've had two other experiences that I'm not quite confused about. But my great-grandma used to visit me in my dreams after she died for like 15 years ago. Our next story says, I see everything. So I was with my little brother home alone when we suddenly heard a creepy voice from the other room saying, Panda, Panda, come here. I want to talk to you. We didn't know who or what it was, then immediately ran upstairs. While we were running to our room, we heard someone nearby say, Do you boys think you can run from me? I see everything. At this point, we were terrified, locking the doors to our room, grabbing mini baseball bats and crying. We were so going to be killed or eaten by some monsters. Then, it happened. A loud bang came from the closet, and the monsters sprang out. We both screamed. My brother fell, and then threw bat at us. My dad was wearing a clown mask and laughing hysterically. Turned out he was behind the whole thing. First, he put the phones in the house with a speaker and said he was leaving to run some errands. Then, he came to the house and hid in the closet and tried to scare us. Our next story says, the cell phone. A couple of months ago, my friend cousin mother bought a new phone. After a long day of work, she came home, placed her phone on the counter, and went to watch TV. Her son came and asked her if he could play with her new phone. She told him not to call anyone or mess with the text messages, and he agreed. At around 11:20 p.m., she was drowsy, so she decided to sleep. But then she got to her son's room, but she didn't find him. She ran over to her room to find him sleeping in her bed with the phone in his hand. She picked her phone back up from his hand and picked it, browsing through it. She noticed only one minor change, such as new background, banner, etc. But then she opened her saved picture. She began deleting pictures he had taken until only one new picture remained. When she first saw it, she didn't believe you, but then it was her son sleeping on her bed, but the picture was taken by someone else above him. It showed the left half of an elderly woman's face. Our first story says, The Rocking Horse. One night, when I was maybe 10 or 12, I had trouble falling asleep. My bedroom was entire top floor of our house, with my bed and such being on the left side and storage closet and a play area being on the right. So I was laying in bed when I heard a noise from the other side of the room and see a rocking horse began to rock. It was sitting just outside one of storage closet doors. It was stopped dead under the light, and at this point I was freaked out and just buried my head under my blanket and never picked out again until morning. I was all confirmed not to be a dream, as the rocking horse was still in the middle of my room when I woke up. I go to check my parents up, and they were just playing with toys in my bedtime. Their bedroom was directly below the storage closet play area and had heard the cracking of rocking horse shuffling across the room. Our story called The Grandfather. My grandfather told me this story about how one time he was sitting in a chair in a front house and he heard his wife repeatedly calling him from inside the house. The thing is, my grandmother passed away a few years before that. But he told me that the voice was so pressing that he actually got up to look inside the house. And as soon as he got inside, he heard a loud crash behind him and turned around to see that the chair he's been sitting in that moment has been crushed by cast iron gutter that fell on it. If he hadn't come inside the house, he would have probably been seriously injured. I don't know if it's paranormal or not, but every time I think about it, it sent chill down my spine. This story is called My Daughter Learned to Count. My daughter was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see that puppy. So I opened the basement door and chopped it down a bit. I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy had never yelled at me before, and it made me sad and I cried. Then Mommy told me never to go in the basement again. She gave me a cookie that made me feel better. So I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet. Last day on Earth. I worked from 2 p.m. until 11 p.m. at a gas station in one of nicer cities around here, and I had a gentleman looking at me in the eyes and asked me if I'm enjoying my last day on Earth, and walked away before I even could give him an answer. I really hope you enjoyed this video with our little spooky stories that I just tried to scare you on it some a little bit. If you like this kind of creepy stories, you can tell me in the comment section if you want me to keep on. And thanks for your good listening. I hope I see you guys next time.